The shutdown has lasted for over 3 weeks now, which you may not have ever noticed because they keep forcing federal employees to come back into work without pay. People like TSA screeners, veterans doctors, and most importantly, the brave guards who keep the Epstein files from being released. Thank you, heroes. But other federal workers have been furloughed, which means they don't go to work at all. These jobs are less essential, and we probably won't even notice they're gone. And remind me, which kind of jobs are furloughed?
Roughly 1,400 employees of the National Nuclear Security Administration, which safeguards the country's nuclear stockpile, now on unpaid leave. Only 400 workers remain on the job.
Great! America's nuclear weapons are now unguarded. That may sound dangerous, but don't be nervous. The nukes have air tags on them, so it's... Also, just to be safe, they put up a sign outside the nuclear stockpile so no one's going to go in there. And for those folks who do have to work without pay, well, they have to get creative to pay the bills.
The shutdown is also putting a strain on the people who make sure we get to our destination safely. Air traffic controllers have been working without pay since October 1st.
Some TSA officers and air traffic controllers are even taking Uber and DoorDash jobs just to make ends meet.
Okay, that's not ideal. On one hand, you don't want air traffic controllers staying up all night working a second job. But on the other hand, the sky is like really big, you know, and the planes probably won't bump into each other. What's the worst that could happen? A lost plane crashes into our unguarded nuclear weapons? I mean, it's not that bad. But look, I hate that this is happening. I don't want to get into an Uber and feel bad when my driver tells me he's an out-of-work air traffic controller. I want to get in an Uber and feel bad when my driver tells me he was an oncologist in Armenia. But if seeing all these hardworking people getting screwed over is hurting your little feelings, don't worry. There is one federal employee who do be getting that money.
This morning, sources tell ABC News that President Trump is pushing for a personal $230 million payout from the Justice Department as compensation for the federal investigations he's faced.
He is demanding $230 million because he faced special counsel investigations over his campaign's contacts with Russia and his removal of classified documents from the White House to his home in Mar-a-Lago.
$230 million. And look, I know it's not exactly what black people wanted, but the American government is finally paying reparations. And, well, it is to an old white billionaire president, but that's why you need to be more specific when you're manifesting. Of course, a lawsuit isn't anything new. Trump sues people more often than Barron gets hit by a seagull. That kid is huge. So I don't mean to sound like your nephew at the Seder, but why is this lawsuit different from the other lawsuits?
The Justice Department officials who would likely sign off on the payment were once President Trump's own personal lawyers, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche.
Now, I'm sure Todd Blanche will take his time and very carefully consider what color pen he will use to sign the check over to his president boss. Let me spell this out for you. Trump's own former lawyers are the ones who get to decide if Trump gets this giant payout from the government that Trump is in charge of. So if you can't believe how good Trump's luck is, he also can't seem to believe it.
It's interesting because I'm the one that makes a decision, right? And, that decision would have to go across my desk. And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself. In other words, did you ever have one of those cases where you have to decide how much you're paying yourself in damages?
No, they haven't. No one's ever done this before. It seems like even Trump is suspicious of how easy this is. This must be how those thieves at the Louvre felt. So all I need is a ladder? I thought this would be way more complicated. I'll steal these invaluable jewels, I guess. Also, keep in mind that this is all happening at a White House Diwali celebration. Which, for those of you who don't know, Diwali is the traditional Hindu festival celebrating the day that the deity Rama extorted his own government for $230 million. Trump's office always has a lot going on. It's like one of those Dunkin' Donuts with the Baskin Robbins in it. I came here for a mint chip, but I might as well get a sausage egg while I'm here. I cannot believe how nakedly corrupt this is. In fact, it can't be. I assume this is a more nuanced situation than it appears. And I'm sure there's some law professor out there who can explain it.
One ethics professor telling the New York Times the ethical conflict is just so basic and fundamental, you don't need a law professor to explain it.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. And what I'm taking away from all this is that I'm as smart as a law professor. But he's right. This isn't a law professor question. This is more of an Elmo question. He understands how f***ed up this is, and he can't even read. But also, Elmo, it's been 45 years. Okay, less tickling, more studying, maybe. And if you're wondering what Trump is going to do with the windfall from the government, well, we don't know. But we know what he's pretending he's going to do with it.
Any money that I would get, I would give to charity.
Okay, all right. I know what you're thinking. Trump is just going to donate the money to his own charity. Well, joke's on you, because that charity was dissolved by court order in 2018 after misusing money for his personal benefit. I bet you feel like an asshole. Now, it's important to keep in mind that even if Trump does donate this money to charity, that's taxpayer money. That's us. I mean, not me. I don't recognize the authority of the IRS, but the rest of you. That's your money. The American people did not give their hard-earned tax dollars to the government so it can be handed over to Donald Trump as compensation for the crimes that he was legitimately investigated for. And, yeah. And if you think, like I do, that the furloughed government workers deserve better than this, then join me by tipping them $1 extra on DoorDash. Thank you, me. For more on Trump pressuring the Justice Department, let's go live to the White House with Troy Iwata. Troy, 230 million. This is madness.
Yeah, Michael, beautiful madness. If this doesn't make you both scared and horny, you're dead inside. Trump is achieving an unprecedented level of corruption, and we here at the lab are just getting started.
The lab? What lab?
The White House Laboratorium for Grifting, obviously. You think this kind of political corruption just happens? No, you fool! It requires research, experimentation, and an eye-wash station for safety purposes!
What? Wait. What the hell? That's how Trump came up with this insane grift?
Oh, we have many more groundbreaking grifts in store. You know how Trump suddenly sprouted fat-ass ankles over the summer? That was us. We gave those to him. Now he can slip and fall and sue his own White House for discriminating against cankle Americans.
No, that's crazy.
You think that's crazy? Next week, Trump's gonna order a drone strike on a Venezuelan boat while he's on the boat, so he'll be eligible for workers' comp.
But Troy, that's insanity.
Insanity! Ah! We have not even begun to grift. Next week, we're gonna have Trump go to the White House cafeteria and ask for a water cup, but use said water cup to get a soda instead!
That's not cutting edge. I used to do that in middle school all the time.
It's cutting edge for a president to do it, you peasant. You ever see a president steal a sun-kissed? It's crazy.
But, okay, but what's the point of all this research? How much money does Trump need?
It's not about the money, you rube. It's about the science and pushing the boundaries of what grifts humankind thought was possible. Soon, President Trump will touch the very face of God and sell God essential oils that God can resell to his neighbors. He'll finally be his own boss!
Troy, when will all this end?
Never! Never. Because at this moment, we're working on the most elaborate scam of all. Donald Trump sues himself for the emotional distress caused by getting sued by himself, which will trigger an infinite loop of emotional distress, causing lawsuits, causing distress, causing lawsuits, causing distress, causing lawsuits, causing distress. Oh, God, it's happening! Oh, my God, it's happening!
Troy, get out of there! That's too much corruption!
I'm so horny and scared!
Troy Iwata, everybody. I'm sure he's fine.